You've been listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM. It's time to investigate the happenings in the Hume Netball League, and joining me on the line is the expert that we always go to for comments on Hume Netball, and that is Carla Fletcher. Carla, lovely to have you on again as we count down to the final series in Hume Netball. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Ellis, and you're all good?
We're not too bad, and I've got to say, this league has been delivering week on, week off, Carla. It's just been absolutely gangbusters, some of the results and some of the unpredictable nature of these results that we've been getting. So I guess it's fitting that with 1 week left before we sort of really get into the thick of it with the final round still to be played, we get a bit of a pause and everyone just takes a breather, and we didn't quite get any results that stunned us, so to speak, this time round, Carla.
No, I think it was a week for the away teams last weekend. So, yeah, all the away teams had really good wins. And they'll be glad about that coming up into finals.
Well, one game that really did catch my attention was Murray Magpies hosting Billabong Crows. I think you and I might have even said that this could be the game of the round. Only 9 goals separating the two sides, but the Crows too good, Carla?
Yeah, look, it was a pretty, highly contested game, and, the Crows went into it knowing that it wasn't an easy game for them, but it was, they needed to put a win on the board. The Crows started off really strong with a great first quarter, and they took the lead. However, the Magpies capitalised on a few mistakes from the Crows in the second and third quarter, and they really made the Crows work hard for their win in the last quarter. Crows Awards went to Brooke Davies, who had a great game in goal defence with some excellent rebounding, and Millie Ferguson, who ran all day in the centre. And the Magpies Award winners were their 2 defenders, Hannah Azai and Laura Kieran.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other results. Osborne, no issues for them on their travels. They had the Giants last weekend, but very easy going for them, Carla, as we might have predicted. They won by a significant margin.
Yeah, look, the margin was quite huge. I didn't think it would be that big, but, Osborne had their full side back on court, which is fantastic for them leading into the finals. And their shooters, both of them shot with outstanding accuracy in the game, scoring 80 goals. That's a huge effort. Bridie Willis was voted the player's player, and Cypress Clay, she took home in the Coach's Award with her first game back after a bit of time off with an injury. And Samara Trethown in goal attack and Brianna Higgins in goal defence won the awards for the Giants.
There we go. Now, Carla, I'm just wondering about whether you think Jindera are back to their best. 48-19 was the result against Culcairn on their travels. Are Jindera right back where they need to be as we head towards finals now?
Yeah, look, I think Jindera are sorting out. They've had a few changes in position, so I think they're sorting that out. And they had a bit of a comfortable win on the weekend with some great turnovers in defence. Look, I think it was a tough game for Culcairn coming up against Jindera. They've got a few injuries in their team, and I'm just hoping that, they're all recovering well in the lead up to finals, and they're able to take the court and, help Culcairn get back to their inform a few weeks ago. Jindera Awards went to Chelsea Harper and Shana Holland, and Culcairn's Awards went to Sam Russell and Taylor Ryan, who both played 4 games in A and B grade. So they stepped up into the A grade team on the weekend, and they've had a great game. And let's hope Culcairn, sort out some of their injuries and are able to put a full team on the field in finals.
Now, I'd have thought that Lockhart might be disappointed with their result because they've been in some good form, and they dropped this one at home to the Brocklesby Burrumbuttock Saints, who are good value for their win, getting a win by 9 goals in the end. Carla, how'd you see this game?
Yeah, look, it was a really close contest throughout the game. The scores were pretty even at quarter time and at half time, and then Lockhart just had a little bit of a lapse in the third quarter, and they allowed BB Saints to get a 6-goal lead at 3-quarter time. And then, in the fourth quarter, it was, cold and wet, and Lockhart just couldn't peg them back, and the Saints came away, as you said, with that 9-goal win. Best players for the Saints were Tia DeAngry, Liz Ellers and Jemima Dunstan, with Lockhart Sarah Anderson having a great game in wing attack. Tegan Hannon solid again in defence, and Carly Pearce in a 300th game. She played a really solid game in the centre. So, yeah, Lockhart would have been a little bit disappointed, especially with Carly's 300th game, but, full credit to the BB Saints girls.
Holbrook getting a nice, comfortable win away to Henty. What were the key takeaways from this one, Carla?
Yeah, I think Holbrook are really playing a consistent game. It was pretty wet there as well. But, the Henty team, they stepped up against a really tough Holbrook defence, and it really made them work hard for the win. Brittany Deegan stepped into the wing attack position for the first time, and she won the award for Holbrook, along with Ollie Schuer in goal attack. And once again, Henty's Rachel Turlick's having some great games in defence, and she had one of her best games of the year. And the coach's award went to Mel Wetton, who played a great role in wing defence. They were both award winners for Henty.
Big win for How Long away from home to CDHBU. 29-60, the final score going the way of How Long, Carla.
And How Long had their full team back, and it was, they were pretty happy with their efforts on the weekend after their loss the week before. They're playing some great patches of play. There were both great patches of play from both teams, but CDHBU were just unable to convert. Jess Lane for How Long, playing in goal attack. She was one of the best players. She just opens up the court. She plays beautifully. And Olivia Baker in wing attack and wing defence was the other award winner. With CDHBU, their awards went to Tamia Richardson, Shelby Richardson and Ava Phipps.
Okay, well, we are entering into the final round of the regular season, round 18, games being played across tomorrow there in the Riverina. We'll firstly set our sights on Osborne at home to CDHBU. Can we expect any kind of test? I'd assume maybe if CDHBU had been slightly more competitive in their last game, then perhaps so, but it doesn't look like it, Carla.
No, I don't think so. And, as with last week's games, all the away teams were winners. And I think I'm tipping all the home games this week. Most of the teams, all the teams, I think, should win that are hosting the final round. So I think Osborne, they'll do it quite comfortably on the weekend.
I do agree with you. It's going to be a day out for the home teams. Billabong Crows, they've got Lockhart. Well, Lockhart should surely look back on their more recent form prior to last week where they looked pretty good, Carla. And, anything can happen on the final day. We've seen that in other netball leagues that we cover here on Fly FM for that matter.
Yeah, look, and, I don't think, Lockhart will be going there not thinking that they can win. So it's going to be a fairly competitive game. But I think the Crows, they're sitting nicely up there in the top six. I think they'll be very hungry for a win. So I think it might be the Crows on the weekend.
Okay, we'll move along and talk about Jindera. They're at home to Henty. They'll be looking at ways in which they can experiment with a few different combinations going into the final series, I'd have thought, because they really need to find a way to get over Osborne.
Yeah, and I think they won't have too much worry with Henty on the weekend. It's, just fine-tuning where they're going to play players, and hopefully they've got a full side as well. But I think Jindera should have a comfortable win.
I think most people will agree with you, Carla. Let's move on and talk about Culcan. They're on the road to Holbrook. How does this one go? Because you just never know with Holbrook, and I guess you could say the same about Culcan, but Culcan have played some pretty good netball at times this season.
Yeah, they have. Both teams are, sitting nicely up in the top six there. Just depending on how Culcan's going with their injuries, I think, Holbrook might take the game on the weekend, but depending on whether Culcan's got a full team, it's going to be a very interesting game, that one.
And you reckon the Murray Magpies, no chance away from home against the Brocklesby Burrumbuttock Saints? You're going for the Saints, Carla?
Well, I am, just because it's a home game. The Saints played really well. They got nice height there in the goal shooting circle, but I think this one will be a close game as well, and the Magpies will want to finish strong at the end of the season, and so will the Saints. So I'm only tipping them because we played them last week and they played very well, and it's a home game. So the Saints over the Magpies.
All right, well, assuming How Long get it done over the Giants, which is also your tip in the last game happening tomorrow, what's that going to mean for the ladder, Carla? You might have to do some quick maths here.
Well, look, it should be a great final round across the whole league, actually, in all the 8 grades. the top 6 for the 11s, the C Reserve and A grade seem to be all locked in. There could be a couple of little changes in positions with A grade, but all of those teams will be raring to go in a fortnight's time. But the other 5 grades, the 13, 15, 17, C and B, they're all awaiting on results from the weekend. So there should be some great competitive games of netball, across the whole league.
All right, Carla Fletcher, our Hume netball expert. Great to speak to you again. Enjoy the last round of regular action. We'll be talking about far less fixtures and results when we return next week. So enjoy it all, Carla, because it's a long off season. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks.